Today I'm going to show you how to run some comps. Now this is for a team member who's getting ready to write an offer and she wants to know best how to advise her buyer client on a good offer price. Now I never would encourage you to just hand over a price to your buyer for a couple of different reasons, but you don't want it to be your responsibility, A, if they lose the house because they went too low, or B, if they later tell you they think they overpaid. So that number always needs to come from the buyer, but I always like to use this little spiel where if they ask you what they should offer, you put the question back on them and you frame it like this. If we offer them $400,000 and then we find out tomorrow we lost it because somebody offered 405, would you be okay with that? If you're okay with that, then that's fine. 405 is not your number. But if I call you and say, oh, you know what, we lost it at 405, and you're like, I totally would have paid 405, well, then maybe 405 is your number. Maybe your number's higher. Either way, you got to put that back on the buyer because you don't want to be the one responsible. But with that being said, you do want to have a working knowledge of what's happening in the neighborhood. You don't want your buyer to overpay. So you want to advise them, but again, leave it in their hands. So I'm going to switch over to the computer. We're going to run some comps and I'm going to do it quick as I can and get you in, get you out, and you'll leave here with some knowledge. Here we go. So we start at Maris and we're on our dashboard. We're going to start in Matrix. We launch that and we can see here that we're at 9 Keystone Ridge Drive. They're listed at 4079, which I don't really understand that pricing. We could go over pricing strategy later, another time, but that's just a very, very odd price. If we scroll down, we'll see it's only been on the market for 4 days, but also notice here that they are giving a $5,000 credit for flooring. Again, I feel like that's a terrible strategy. Just list this house at $400,000 and call it a day. So anyway, what we see here is we've got a 3-car garage, 4 beds, 2 baths. So let's look Keystone Ridge. Let's just look in this subdivision first of all. We're going to go search, detail. Let's look at everything. Residential, subdivision, paste that in there. Why are all these weird spaces there? And let's see what results we've got. So we can see that in the last year, let's sort this by date. I'm clicking up here at the top. We went oldest to newest, now we're newest to oldest. So we can see that there's another one on Keystone Ridge Drive that was on market 118 days for 410. Here's some others on Keystone. They all sold in the 400s. If we go over here, you can see that I've got my top bar here customized, and this is not the standard view. If we go to, let's see, single line view, I think this is the standard look of how this looks when you do it. But you can add your different rows. Like I always, like if we go to my single line view, I always like to know number of garages, basement yes or no. You'll see in your standard view, it's not there. So if you, just a quick rabbit hole to slide down, if you click on a gray area of any of these bars, you can insert a column. And when you go to insert a column, you can, like number of garage spaces, number of fireplaces. If you find yourself searching for the same things over and over again, you can add that, and then once you hit apply, it's going to show up here, and then you hit the little gear shift up here, set my current display to my default, and you will be able to find that under my single line. I don't know if that was too fast for you. Sorry if it was. Call me if you have any questions. So this is the view I like because the number of garage spaces and whether it has a basement or not severely affect the comparables. So I always like to know what I'm dealing with and compare apples to apples. So you can see we've got a few to deal with, a few comparables here in the neighborhood. Let's sort by bedrooms. We just click it and it'll sort it. So let's see. Most of them are 3 bedrooms. Remember the one we're looking at right here on number 9 is a 4 bedroom. The number of garage spaces vary as well. There are no 4 bedroom, 3-car garage. But let's just, for argument's sake, let's sort by price per square foot. that's the easiest, simplest way to compare them. Now I'm seeing this one at 138, 159 a square foot, 118 days on market. That thing absolutely must be a total dog. I'm just going to delete it and get it out of here. The one thing that I usually will do when running comps, I will always delete the low and I will delete the high just because I get rid of those outliers. That way it leaves me a nice middle ground. But in this case, just because this one is so random, let's look at it and just see. It's a 2-car, 2-story. Ranch homes typically sell for more. I'm going to guess it doesn't have a finished basement. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with this house. Looks pretty fine to me. Let's scroll down and look at where it says basement. Yes, it's a walkout. I guess it's not finished because it doesn't say that it's finished. Otherwise, it would have some more details there. So let's go back to my single line. So let's look at one of these other 4 bedrooms. It's only a 2-car garage, but let's go down. Basement, yes. Partially finished with a sleeping area. Okay. So 123 Keystone sold for $273 a square foot. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. The one we are looking at, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's bigger, 1,800 square feet compared to 1,500 square feet. 3-car garage versus 2-car garage. So either way, let's get rid of this one because it has a finished basement, and you can see by the numbers it really jumps the price up. So let's just get rid of that. Now I don't know what the deal is with this one, why it sold so cheap. Either way, regardless, let's just get rid of it because it doesn't line up with the other numbers that we've got here. So we're going to delete that. Again, I always delete the outliers. And we do have a nice little pool of recently sold. I mean, we got one that just sold in August, and they're all, let's see, about $220 a square foot. Let's say ours $221 a square foot. So we're priced well. So all of these have unfinished basements, which is very important. They've all got 3-car garages. Ours, again, has the extra bedroom, but whatever. We're a little bit smaller by square footage. Again, not much to speak of. Same amount of bathrooms. So with all things being equal, this is a good price. It's now Tuesday. It's been on market all weekend. I'm going to assume they've got no offers. My suggestion would be you call this agent. So I see Sue Peters here. I don't know her personally, but she is at EXP. She's at our brokerage. So, you know, call her up. It should probably be a friendly conversation. We're all on the same team. Ask her what was traffic like over the weekend. Did they get any offers? Is the seller offering any compensation? Now, technically, she should not reveal this. My strategy is you never say a word. But what was the traffic like? Did they receive any offers? Are they offering compensation? And why does she feel that it's still on market? And then when you ask those questions, just let her talk. And if she's a talker, you might find out some good information. But, you know, me personally, if they're offering compensation, well, depending on what she says in that phone call would dictate how I write this offer up. If they at 408 were considering giving out a 2.5, a 2.7 buyer's agent commission, then I'd probably offer them 400, ask for the commission, don't ask for the flooring credit. That's, you know, that's up to you and between you and your buyer. But I think if the seller would net, I don't know, 400 would be a little generous in my opinion, just because they were already offering a $5,000 seller credit. So I don't know what was up with that listing strategy. I think it's very odd. But you know, it's between you and your buyer. So whatever you think is good, you could always call me for my opinion, but I would not let this seller net more than $400,000 in my opinion. And if you can get it for under 400 or even at 400, you've gotten yourself a bargain because it's priced right at the 407. Happy selling.